Hey everybody, welcome to Hangin' and Sangin'. I'm Kelly McCartney from the Bluegrass Situation. With me today, Hillbilly Central, Luke Bulla, the one and only. Welcome.
Thank you.
And band.
Yes.
Thank you guys for all for coming. Now, I've been chasing you for months because our mutual and very talented friend Josh Meltzer, peace out, hey Josh, has been saying that we needed to connect. And I thought I had you cornered at the Leanne Womack show in October.
Right, we played Ascend, I guess, right?
We played Ascend opening for Chris Stapleton,
Mhm.
and I was gonna stalk you backstage. You weren't there. I had to talk to Leanne. That's that.
Oh man, that must have been terrible.
It was so bad. Ugh. Hashtag I love Leanne Womack.
She's amazing.
Yeah, but that was a great show. So finally, I get you here. Let's do a little. I would love to just do a scroll of all the people you've played with, but we don't have that kind of technology. So let's do a little Luke Bulla 101.
Okay.
It started with, of course, a family band.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that such a thing in the roots music bluegrass world?
It really is. I think it's just, something about the everybody's ability to play acoustic instruments and sit around together in the living room, and it's just a kind of a tradition, But it's
sang some harmony.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Gospel and all of that, and
Yeah.
singing harmonies. And, yeah.
Then you picked up Shri Fiddle there at 7.
Yep. I was 7. Yeah. My sister and I, Jimmy Ann, and I started playing together a whole bunch of twin fiddle music, and I've got a Megan Lynch here who's playing with me today, and she actually gave me and my sister one of our first fiddle lessons when we were about,
So this
about
is all
that
your
age.
fault.
I am
Yeah.
that old. Is all that means.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you did a great job because then you went on to win all of the fiddle championships ever, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
A grand champion at 16.
That's right. Yeah.
See? And what is it? So what does it take to be that good that young?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I think it's a combination of things. I think that we practiced a lot, and that's all we did. And also we were homeschooled, so we had the distinct advantage of incredible flexibility of schedule, and also we just did it all the time. That's all we did. We traveled together, we played music together, and it was our family livelihood, and
Right.
so we were just immersed in it
Right.
from the beginning. So it just kind of lived and woke up to it and ate it and sang it and drank it and all that stuff. It's
Right.
just part of the whole thing. Yeah.
Do you have any? I want to say regrets because I hate that word, but do you feel like there were things that you missed out on that, or was it all worth it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah. There was just kind of like a normal, more of like a normal growing up kind of
Right.
a thing. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, but I'm extremely grateful for where I'm at now with it all, and definitely there was always a connection for me to music, and particularly the fiddle. I mean, I heard fiddle when I was really, really young, and knew pretty much right away that I wanted to do that, and it's just been great to have that kind of connection, and then also to be able to continue with it, and it's gone on. I mean, I'm sure there are some certain kind of regrets that we could talk about, but I mean, it's my
We're
life
not going to use that word.
It's right, exactly. Yeah. But no, it's not. And I wouldn't even necessarily put it that way. It's just a different way of doing it. And
I always figure if I like where I am at this moment, then I have to embrace every moment that got me here. Because any little butterfly flap in the wrong direction, I'd be somewhere else.
Right,
So.
exactly. Yeah.
And hey, you're on Hangin' and Sangin', so it's pretty good place to be.
Indeed.
So when did you start playing guitar and mandolin?
Well, I mean, I started learning like guitar chords, and I mean, of course, just grew up listening to bluegrass music, and my dad's from North Carolina, and so he started playing banjo and guitar, and introduced me to Bill Monroe and Jimmy Martin and Flatt and Scruggs and all of that, and then Tony Rice and Ricky Skaggs and Jerry Douglas and all of those guys. So I just grew up hearing all that stuff, but so I kind of along the way would pick at it a little bit. Was never really as serious with any other instruments as I was with the fiddle until I got into my teens, probably 14, 15 years old. I started getting really interested in flat picking and all of that, and started playing a lot more guitar in the family band, and pursued that for a while. But fiddle has always been definitely my main instrument. So
How does your playing of other instruments, when you kind of go away and then you come back to the fiddle, how does that inform your fiddle playing then?
That's a good question. I mean, guitar is probably my favorite. Guitar and singing are probably my favorite other instruments, you know. And so, getting away from, it's just it's an interesting challenge, you know. And when I play guitar, I've got certain grooves and pathways that I tend to fall into and whatever.
Right.
But singing was, I guess, singing and playing fiddle are really similar to me, you know, just as far as like the way that I hear things and the way that I learned fiddle and all of that, you know, being able to sing something and getting something ingrained in my inner ear, you know, in my mind, and being able to sing a melody like a fiddle tune or whatever, and then kind of so singing and fiddle playing are definitely a lot closer related to me than
Gotcha.
you know than guitar. But guitar is always just really fun because it's always been just a different thing, and I spent so many hours practicing fiddle, you know. So
Right. Yeah. It's almost like your hobby.
right, right. Yeah.
So, at what point you moved to Nashville in '99 and kind of gangbusters from there?
Mhm.
What was your first gig once you got to town?
Well, I moved to town, February of '99, and I was encouraged. I met Ricky Skaggs when I was I think it was 12, the first time I met Ricky, and he always encouraged my family to move down to Nashville. You know, he thought it would be a great place for us, especially with how serious we were about music and pursuing music and doing music as a career and all that kind of thing. And it just never materialized until when I turned 19 and left the family band. I just knew that I wanted to come to Nashville and give it a shot. So I had been in touch with Ricky that whole time, and he was building his studio up in Hendersonville, and Skaggs Family Records was just starting at that point. And so when I got to town, he started having me come sit in on the Opry. I was 19, and he had me sit on the Opry a whole bunch. Probably, I don't know, it seemed like a long time. But I think it was probably, you know, it was only about a couple months. And then he hired me to be in the band. So I was playing with Ricky Skaggs, and Kentucky Thunder was my first gig here in Nashville.
Have you kept account of how many times you've been on the Opry?
Oh, gosh, no. I should have. But yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a few times, yeah.
I
First
bet.
time I was on there, I think I was like 10 years old, or 10 or 12, somewhere in there. And then with the family, you know, and then,
Right.
there were a couple more after that. But then when I moved here, I started playing with Ricky. It was
All the time.
pretty much every weekend, yeah. Cody knows about that. Cody killed me on guitar over here.
Now this is where we need the scroll of everybody you've played with, because Ricky Skaggs, Leanne Womack, Lyle Lovett, Noam Pikelny, Barry Bales, John Cowan, Brandy Carlisle. Oh, we could keep going.
Mhm.
Krause and Krause, Chris Thiele.
Mhm.
And so then you got ready to make your record,
Mhm.
or your first EP in 2011.
Mhm.
Just call some friends, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you came about getting everybody on?
Pretty much. I mean, I've been so fortunate to get to play with pretty much all of my musical heroes. I mean, at this point in my life, I feel like I've pretty much realized all of my childhood musical aspirations and dreams. You know,
Right. You need to come up
Jerry
with some new
Douglas
ones then.
and you know Earl Scruggs and Tony Rice and
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
on and on and on, and Bela Fleck and Edgar Meyer, and you know, and so I was really fortunate to get to connect with everybody and meet everybody, you know, through Ricky and through John Cowan when I first got to town, and then I got to play in Jerry Douglas band for a few years.
Right.
I was asked to be a part of the Telluride House Band, which is, you know, basically strength in numbers with Brian Sutton and then me on fiddle, and but it was just so incredibly amazing, you know. So getting to the point where I was ready to make my EP, those guys were all gracious enough to be willing to. Victor Krause played bass on the EP, and then Brian produced my newest record, and it was a similar kind of thing. Just so wonderful to get to work with all my heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the new record,
Mhm.
first EP was self-titled, 2011. Who Loves You Better came
Mhm.
out last May.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Sutton produced it, and it again is chock full of two-time Grammy winner Sarah Jarosz. Tell us who all else is on it. 'Cause
Well,
there's-
Leanne Womack sang harmony with me on a Buddy Miller tune.
Her again.
Yeah.
She likes her buddy songs.
She does. And she's such one of my favorite singers in the world.
Yeah.
Maura O'Connell sang with me on a song that Russ Kunkel wrote with a guy, Australian singer-songwriter named Shane Howard. And let's see, Brian and Cody. Nat Smith, who's here with us today, played cello all over that thing.
A little Jarosz connection there
Yeah,
too.
there you go.
It's so incestuous, the roots music world. I'll tell you what. But it's great.
It's pretty
'cause
connected.
everybody
yeah.
knows everybody. It's so much easier at a party.
That's
Like,
right.
of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Exactly.
What was it like? Because when you play with Leanne, you play fiddle and you sing background vocal. So what was it like to flip those roles?
Oh, well, it was just, I mean, she's such a great person to work for and work with, and she loves, I mean, really loves, real old country music, like real traditional country music, and so and as do I, and so there's a real connection there, and Sam Grisman, who played bass on my record, my newest record, plays with her as well a bit, and he does, we both have to sub out from time to time. Obviously, I play with Lyle and other people as well. I'm trying to do more of my own stuff as well, but yeah, so just, I mean, getting to appreciate that kind of music and then getting to be a part of a band like that, it's a pretty natural thing, she was really gracious to come in and sing harmony with me,
And
and
I would
I love
think-
singing harmony with her. It's
Yeah,
great.
and having that experience of singing together, I would think even if the roles are reversed, you just know each other's voices and
Yeah.
sort of inclinations where she's gonna take this or where you're gonna.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Nice. So because you are sort of primarily a side guy, right? What is it? How fulfilling is that for you? Like, what do you get out of that?
Of being a sideman?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, that's like I was saying before. One of the things that has been incredible for me living here in Nashville is that I've gotten to not only have friendships and relationships with people that I've always looked up to and listened to for so many years, but getting to play music with them, old music and music that's that they're writing or I'm writing or just that kind of collaboration is really great. I love the I don't know, as being a sideman is I mean, there's definitely, it's one of the things that's been a little daunting, and it's also, it's a challenge, being a front guy. It's like trying to carry a show.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've learned from Lyle, is watching him, studying him. Yeah, I've been playing with him for like 8 years, but he's so good at.
It's one of my all-time favorite live shows.
Yeah. He's so personable and so smart, and he just really, there's a lot to, it's like adding a whole other element, it's another level of things to concentrate on and think about and be aware of, so I like being able to kind of step back and focus on singing harmony and playing and not really have to worry about
a little less pressure.
It's less pressure for sure, but
I
I enjoy the other as well. I mean, I really do, and it's like anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
And it's great that you are able to sort of carve out a little bit of time for your own creativity, so you don't feel like, oh, I'm just the side guy. So, and one of the things that you are a songwriter as well, and first song on the new record, Temperance Reel, is a song you wrote with Guy Clark and John Randall. How, every time I hear a story about Guy, it's all about how incredibly supportive and generous he was to sort of the younger generations coming up under him. Was that your experience?
Absolutely. He was really wonderful, and I also appreciate how direct and straightforward he could be. He wouldn't pull any punches. I mean, he would just but also he was very
tough love.
Well,
but it was love.
He's just so sharp and such a quick wit, and also such a character, such his own the personality in an artist, and that was a truly amazing experience I was scheduled to write with John Randall, and he called me up the night before and said, I'm going to take you over to Guy Clark's house. We're going to write. And I had never met Guy. It was the first time I met him. So we said,
okay.
Oh gosh, all right. Well, I guess this is going to happen. Yeah, I was really nervous about it, just because I have so much respect for Guy and his art. But and it was really sad to lose him, last May. But it was a really incredible experience. We sat around and played on guitars that Guy built himself in his workshop down in the basement of his house, the west side of town, and just decided we were going to write some lyrics around the fiddle tune, an old fiddle tune, and so it was a truly memorable experience. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Well, how about let's hear that one?
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, so we decided to write lyrics around the Temperance Reel, and it's kind of cool, just doing it a little bit in an unusual way, using the fiddle like a mandolin. Y'all ready?
I played every night. Tell the truth, I'd fiddle if I didn't make a dime. And I sure like good liquor, it makes me want to play. The funny thing about the fiddle is it makes you want to drink. For a shot of homemade whiskey and $100 bill, I'll burn the hair right off this bow and play the temperance reel. But I'll play one for the lady, so sweet and smooth and sweet. I'll play one for those I've left and the one that got away. But I played it in the mountains and out on the western plain. Played for my brother who I'll never see again. Played high, played the lonesome like a mountain whippoorwill. Let's boom rosin on this boat, playing temperance reel. With drinking and dancing is an awful dreadful sin. Then I know where I'm going soon as I know where I've been. This old fiddle bit me on the leg when I was 6 years old. I guess I'm gonna play it till the devil gets my soul. If I could play it all night long, never get my fill. Let's play that rhythm down, boys, play the temperance reel.
Normally I would say the big rock ending, but that's the big bluegrass ending.
That's right.
Yeah. And what's funny, or what's great about that song is it kind of reminds me of Ashley Monroe wrote "Like a Rose" with Guy Clark from her record a few years ago, and it's sort of a spin on her story, and that's a spin on you. So it's amazing that that's something that, like, that's a gift he gave to both of you to like kind of help tell your story in a different way.
Yeah, and that's it's wonderful too. It feels like it's a little bit kind of part of that family, like the Sean Camp song that he wrote with Guy, like the Sis Draper, Arkansas Traveler, and kind of bringing in like old fiddle tunes and having kind of stories, writing some stories about that kind of things. He's really good at that.
Right, nice. Okay, we are now at the enlightening round of the show. And you've already actually answered two of these, but we're going to redo them anyway. So I'm going to ask you I'm going to say people's names. You're going to tell me the best lesson you learned from each of them.
Okay.
Let's go Lyle, which you kind of already said, but...
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I mean, there's so many, but yeah.
How to wear a suit, for sure. That's
definitely, how to dress, for sure. Where do I begin? It's such an honor to be on stage with Lyle. One of the things I respect most about the way he puts his show together and the way he conducts his large band, and it's just he's so good at.
And you're in the small band too. Right?
Yeah, there's other configurations.
You're all in all the bands.
Right, pretty much. Yeah, except when he does he's been doing some
duo
stuff and solo stuff. Yeah, but I'm always amazed and impressed with how
carefully thought out his. I love how he uses silence. The way he uses silence as a tool, especially when it comes to comedy, and
Yes.
that, it's really impressive. But just the way that he is so careful about keeping a record of what we have played in the city before, and personally being involved on via social media and all that with folks, and honoring requests, and then when people will call out things from the audience, the way that he'll interact with them, and that's one of the most impressive things. But not to mention, I mean, we did this past summer, we did 52 shows in 50 cities in 62 days, and so his ability to maintain his voice, and we do like 2 hour and 45-minute shows, 6 nights a week. Right. So I mean, it's working hard, and it's like but the way that he maintains himself, and his voice and all of that too is really impressive. But so many impressive things about Lyle. He's I like that he is so dedicated to his heritage and where he comes from, and remembering his family and his roots, and it's a part of it's a part of the whole thing.
He's a long, tall Texan.
That's right.
No way around it.
Yeah.
Brian Sutton.
Oh my gosh, I first met Brian when I was probably 10 or 12. It was around the same time I met Ricky. I think it was maybe a year or two later I met Brian. But over the years, I mean, Brian's his musicality and his just his sheer ability. Is just that was what first got my attention. But having gotten to know him personally over the years, the way he produces music, and the way that he brings people together, and I don't know. I think that I love the way that he is with his family. He's just a solid dude all the way around. He's an inspiring individual in a wholesome kind of a way.
Nice.
He's a really good dude. Yeah.
Ricky Skaggs.
Ricky. So when I first moved to town, like I said, I was 19, and so it was kind of, I was thrown into the fire, kind of, at a young age, and but I mean, Ricky is he's known for, in a positive way, exacting, in my opinion, like a high level of technicality and performance and ability out of people that play in his band, and so it's extremely proficient, and but it's also his commitment to tradition and roots, and bluegrass, real bluegrass, and his connection with Bill Monroe and all of that. I mean, it's and the Stanley Brothers, and all, it's the real thing, It's like, I guess that's probably
yeah. And we got to throw Law in there. What have you learned from Law?
Oh man. Well, I just have to. I said it before, but I just have to say again, like her voice, her ability to sing. She's a true musician.
Voices.
Yeah, she is a true musician, and we, there have been nights we stay up after a show on the bus. We're riding down the road and just listening to, just digging through old country songs, like a lot of George Jones and a lot. But just her appreciation for real, what she calls real country music,
Yeah.
And she's really outspoken about that, which I appreciate. That's respectable, But I just, her ability to sing, and her roots. So she's a Texas girl too.
Not a long, tall Texan, though.
Right. Right. She's just a really, she's so chill, and just really great person to hang out with too.
Yeah.
So.
I second that motion.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the second song.
Mm-hmm.
Who Loves You Better?
Yep.
Lyle Lovitune, title track of the CD. And I will just say that I love that you make it your own by singing sorry and not sorry.
Oh, that's an interesting. I hadn't thought about that so much.
Because he's sorry.
Yeah.
You're sorry.
Yeah.
But don't let that trip you up when you sing it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just trying not to think about this. All right, here we go. All right, yeah, this is, we were playing this song. Well, Lyle brought this to Soundcheck one time, and we do a lot of songs at Soundcheck that we may not get to in the shows. He likes to kind of dig through the catalog, which his catalog is extensive, and he played this one. We listened to it and worked it up and played it, and I love, this is one of my favorite songs of his, that he's written, and I told him that after Soundcheck, And we did it a lot for like a couple of years after that. We kind of got into the more of a regular rotation, you know. But yeah, I asked him if I could record it, and then asked him, you know, if we could title the record after that. He was extremely gracious, and so that's what ended up happening. But yeah, so here we go. Who Loves You Better? A 1, 2, 3, 2.
Late nights in musty motel rooms, still left by someone else. White blurs, I wish I could tell you. Questions I ask of myself. Why do I do the things that make me sorry? Why do I do the things that make you cry? If I could lose your love to another who loves you better than I. Oh, the angels smile when you're praying, but the devil laughs when you lie. Some things they go without saying, as tears they fill up your eyes. Why do I do the things that make me sorry? Why do I do the things that make you cry? If I could lose your love to another who loves you better than I. Some questions beg for an answer, like a poet begs for a rhyme. Somehow all I can remember is holding your hand in mine. Late nights in musty motel rooms, stay lives left all alone. He's
country ending.
Right.
Small country ending. Look, Bulla, you guys, that was Who Loves You Better. Great record.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on that.
Thank you.
And I'm glad I finally chased you down.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I would have just kept, I'd have chased you on tour with Lyle or something. I don't know. Not above that. Thank you
Come
for
on.
being here. Thank you guys
Absolutely.
all for being
Nat
here.
Smith, Cody Kilby, Megan Lynch, thank you all.
Yeah, yeah. We will be back next week with Mary Gaucher, Caroline Spence the week after that. So we will see you then. Over and out from Hillbilly
Thanks so
Central.
much. Take care, y'all.